Hey, hey there, Angie Rae here with Girl That's Toxic. What are we going to get into today? Well, I have this thing I want to talk about, this Nepo baby thing, okay? And I know you guys have been hearing about it, but let me go ahead and define it for anybody who hasn't. So a Nepo baby is an actor or actress, everybody's called an actor these days, who is the child of someone wealthy and powerful, with most of the time their parents being actors or musicians themselves. And as a result, they are able to get an opportunity to star on a show. Things that take people forever to get these opportunities, if they ever do. So they are able to get untold opportunities that everyone else who is struggling to be an actor, all the auditioning they're doing, doesn't matter. There's a Nepo baby. I got a cousin who's an actor who busted his butt, a black man who busted his butt to be an actor. And I'm so proud of where he is now. He didn't have no mother or daddy who was in the business. You hear me? He did it on his own. But let's get back to these Nepo babies. I really am a big fan of Kevin Bacon. One of the reasons is he's the first star I had to interview. I didn't want to do it. I'm not particularly into interviewing stars, but whatever. He was so down to earth and such a great guy. He was with his brother. They had a band. This was back in the day. But his daughter starred on her mom's show, not Major Crimes, but the other one, with Brenda Lee Johnson. So she was on there for a bit. Now she's doing something. Again, two parents who are actors who have done very well. Kira Sedgwick, Kevin Bacon. But the real person I want to talk about is Tom Hanks, because Tom Hanks got really upset with this conversation. And, you know, everyone in his family, he has 4 children, and they are all somehow in the business. And he took exception to those of us who have a problem with Nepo babies, with this nepotism that's in Hollywood. And he said that his family is in the family business and that this is the family business. You know what? I hear what you're saying. I really do. You know, I hear what you're saying. You're an actor. Your wife was an actor. It ends up that your kids want to do something similar to their parents. But you do understand you are taking away opportunities from other people who weren't raised in the family business, but who have every right to go to an audition, to get an audition because they are good at what they do, but they're not having this audition. They're not having that audition. They're not having the other audition because it's already decided that Tom Hanks, one of your kids, is going to get it. Now, I like Colin Hanks. He's a really good actor. This is not, oh, so-and-so isn't a good actor. No, this is about opportunity, okay? Now, I think about Denzel Washington. And back in the day, I remember reading that Denzel said he and his wife, if their kids wanted to get into the business, that's fine. But first, they had to go to college. Hello! But first, you must get educated. So he's got a Yale law grad who is a producer in Hollywood. You know, he's got a kid who went to UPenn, somebody went to New York University, all top schools. And then his son, John David, who we know as an actor, he was a football star at Morehouse and was offered, had the opportunity to go pro. Okay, so I don't have a problem with that because dad and mom made it clear. Let's go get educated first. And part of that education, that Yale educated attorney, she knows how to handle things in Hollywood, not just from the perspective of, you know, oh, an actor who's auditioning. No, she's in the business end of it, which is where we need more Black people. She's producing, she's creating content. This is what we need. I have tried my hand at acting as well. I used to be good at it when I was a kid. I tried doing that some years ago and I stink. But I was around a lot of people who didn't stink and I saw how hard they were working and the opportunities they hope they got. I got a couple of opportunities to audition for 30 Rock. You know, that was great. I did get the impression I just got that opportunity because of they needed to, expand who they were auditioning. That's fine, whatever. I still got the opportunity, and that was really, really awesome. But whenever I hear nepotism, whether we're talking Hollywood or any other industry, what comes to mind is this. Isn't this just affirmative action? And I thought y'all didn't like affirmative action. Because if you're holding a slot for someone, or you have a space for someone, and they didn't have to audition, and they didn't have to do anything to prove that they could carry the load, if they weren't competing against other talent, they just got it because mom, Kaia Gerber, she was on American Horror Story. Who is she? Cindy Crawford's daughter, and Randy Gerber. Her husband is in business with George Clooney. They have what does the people have? A tequila line. Okay, so I saw her acting. I was like, ooh, she about as good as I am. But this is Hollywood. Greedy, 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 wanting to make money. And I understand, because of the business I've been in, that a name can potentially do it for you. I don't know her. It's not like Cindy Crawford, who we know. It's not like she was in the role. Her daughter was, and wasn't that good of an actor. So you're taking jobs away. You're taking hope and possibilities away from people who are wanting to join this very difficult industry. So it's hard anyway to get a look. It's hard anyway to get any type of a job, an audition, a callback. All of that is very, very difficult. But on top of that, when you know that spots are left open for folks who already have parents in the industry, it's just not fair. It's affirmative action. And if you didn't like affirmative action, then you shouldn't like this. And if you can't see it as affirmative action, I ask you to stop, pause, and really, really think about it. I had a job once in Washington, D.C., and the person I worked for, the organization was rather progressive. The client was conservative. So I did my job. They called me back. They needed me to do some more work, and the client was there, and we got to chatting. And when I said to him, you know what affirmative action is? When your son doesn't have to have an interview with, this guy was a lawyer, X law firm, because of you, he just gets the job. That's affirmative action. And the man sat there and said, Angela, I never thought about that. You're right. Yes. Nepotism, affirmative action. So I don't want to hear anything from anybody about affirmative action. Can I get an amen, sis? Amen. Mm-hmm.
Amen.
Mm-hmm. And let's be clear. When we talk about affirmative action, the largest recipients of affirmative action, not people of color. It was white women. So let's just all understand what we're dealing with, okay? Nepotism, a form of affirmative action. I thought we didn't like that. I can tell you what. Hollywood wants to make money, and any way it can, it will do it. And irrespective of whether so-and-so's daughter or son can act or sing or whatever, they've got that name and they think that will make them the money. So the money is all Hollywood cares about, the money. And if you're a person of color, it is rare for you to have family in the business. Denzel's in the business, but told his children, hey, let's get educated first. Then if this is what you want to do, fine. Not saying it's the family business. Well, I just find this whole Nepo thing to be just a little bit toxic for me, a little bit too toxic for me. Because again, affirmative action was attacked back in the day. Why aren't we attacking this now with the same fervor that we hated affirmative action? And when I say we, I don't mean me.